Only one loss in weeks. They his description. Do you see him holding onto the scoring title this year, Kenny?
Well, a big thing for Freak is trying to avoid the stat-chasing things that a lot of former players tried to do. Just getting his
Welcome, everyone. Let's get ready for some NBA basketball on 2K Sports. Along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. We are in the Windy City, Chicago, United Center to be exact, home of the Bulls. And, of course, Doug McDermott. Even with him gone, they've shaken it off quickly and have really come together as a team.
Kevin, I thought he was really an important player for them, undervalued and not given the credit he deserved. That's not to say the trade was a mistake, but I think they'll miss him more than you might expect.
You know, chemistry-wise, I agree with you, Clark, because he was a glue guy. You know, he's a guy that kind of held things together for them in a few areas, and so not having him around might take some getting used to.
Now let's check out our starters for the Los Angeles Lakers. Inside of the 4 is Randall with Hill at the 5. Powell is out there with Russell, and it's Fresh in at the 3. No good with the triple. Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Fred Hoiberg. What'd you find out, DB?
For them to be successful, Kevin, he said they have to act like, and I quote, a swarm of angry bees every time the ball gets in the post. If they don't collapse on their post threats, he knows they're in for a long game. Guys?
And thanks for that story, Doris. And he gets it to go. Powell's got his first points in this one.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And, Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
Now, here's Gasol. He had 10 points in the win against the Celtics in Boston.
Yeah, but the rebounding in that game as well was just tremendous. I mean, he dominated the backboard.
And again, Chicago, no good. Here's Russell. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
How about 3 or 4 from the floor to start? That's always a good sign.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kevin. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
And, you know, it took them a while to get going, but they finally connected now on their 4th shot of the game.
Here is Russell, following the score by Derrick Rose. And the foul goes against Chicago. Here's Fresh. Well, you know that he's going to find a way to get the ball in the basket no matter what D he's faced with. He averages about 31.5 points a game.
And with room like that off the pick, you have got to knock that one down.
Well, you know, they did everything right, Greg. They executed. All you want is a good look at the basket. Sometimes the shots just don't fall.
Now here's Rose. Coming off a stellar performance against Boston.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
Well, it was the Los Angeles Lakers in their last game, a loss to Cleveland.
Yeah, they just really struggled to put points on the board throughout that game. You could just see they were pressing, just couldn't get anything to go on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and guys, once they got spiraling downward, there seemed to be no way to get out of it. All their offense went to pot.
And, you know, that's an example of how many plays we have in a game for which there's no stat. A monster dunk coming off just a terrific pick play.
Greg, you're right. It really did work to perfection. Gave him all the room he needed for the flush.
Boy, that's a sound physical play. I mean, can't be afraid to put a shoulder into somebody every once in a while. It's a contact sport, folks.
Here is Rose, following the basket by Freak. Rose passes to Butler. His three-pointer's off the mark. Lakers leading by 5. Now the pass to Fresh. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Yeah, shots falling, off to a very good start offensively as a result.
Now Rose. He's been a nice option for them offensively, and he's averaging more than 17 points a game. The 11-footer hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good.
He's just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
1:46 left to play in the first. Kicks it to Hill. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah, and when he's got a lead like that, why not take a few chances? A lot more engaging and entertaining than just doing the old ho-hum one-hander.
And what hot hands have been coming from the ranks of the small forwards this past month. A look at the percentages for those players. Freak number 1.
Obviously, looking at those numbers, he hasn't just been settling for outside shots. He works very hard to get a lot of high-quality looks in close.
And that inside-outside game, I like to call it reversible clothing. It makes him the most accurate shooter among NBA small forwards.
1:19 left in the first quarter of the game. Bass with the screen. There's a screen. The dish to Ilyasova. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Now, here's Chalmers. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. Fresh, the pass to Clarkson. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
And really, he's just done a great job of finding the open man every trip down.
Boy, it sure has seemed as though he's done it every time. It's been an awesome display of passing for him today.
Chalmers with it. He's covered by Clarkson. Arthur, no good.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Butler with the steal. From the baseline. Fresh pulls it in.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
It's intercepted. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Los Angeles on top, up. And the Gasol brothers, both starters in the All-Star game last season. It's the first time that's happened in NBA history.
It's like a dream come true. It's hard to...
Well, their story is a bit like a fairy tale, the way two of them, sons of medical professionals in Spain, have become two of the best centers in the NBA of this era.
Yeah, and especially, Kevin, when you remember what a raw talent and how big and bulky Marc Gasol was when he was drafted by the Lakers, who traded him to Memphis for his brother.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing?
It's been about the pace. You can see they're going to try to keep this game in the open floor.
Yeah, and, you know, it's been a tempo that they like, and they're getting some easy buckets in transition here.
Mirotic out there with Arthur. Then there's Chalmers. Then there's Derrick Rose. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls. Bulls making a switch here. Gasol's checked in. And a chance here to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Cavaliers had a huge game. He had 43 points, and he tallied those points as he usually does, really knocking down shots from beyond the arc. It was a performance for the ages, and one that will have the whole league talking.
Thanks, Doris, for revisiting what was an astounding performance.
Yeah, that's certainly one that we'll be talking about here for a long time.
I'd say it would make it to his greatest hit spot, no doubt about it.
Mirotic gets the bucket. Russell with it. 29 points for him last game against Cleveland.
And also defensively, guys, he kept them off balance with 4 steals on the night. His shooting has been outstanding here. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game. All right, a chance to check out rebound stats for Gasol. The last 10 games, he has been on a heck of a run. 13 points per game, 10 rebounds, and almost 2.5 blocks. And what sets him apart is his rebounding. And as you can see, he's been in peak form.
This last stretch, unbelievable force going to the glass. And it's been reflected on the stat sheet.
The Lakers making a switch here. Powell's checked in. And here's the fast break. Ball going up court. It's stolen by Rose. In transition, here come the Bulls. And he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came upright with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Took the opportunity when he saw it. Russell's got 5.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
Good-looking screen by Gasol. Mirotic's shot is off.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
And that's a good place to start if you're going to try to find your way back into this game. Get to work on the glass.
And now let's bring you the list of the top three-point shooting teams over the course of the past 10 games. The Lakers #1.
The main factor, I think, is the great spacing. That has led to wide-open, long-range shots, and that's why we see the great numbers from the 3.
And Chalmers kicks to Gasol. Back to Chalmers. Mirotic the screen. No one near him. Fresh pulls it in. Fresh has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Rose with the double team. Here's Hibbert. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
Butler, he's checked in for the Bulls. Temple comes in for Derrick Rose. Julius Randle's checked in for Los Angeles. That 3 off the mark. Lakers leading by 14. Russell dishes to Randle. Off with the layup.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
Here's Russell. Lays it in off the breakaway. Russell's got his 3rd basket of the night.
I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen throughout. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively turning into quick points.
And that can't continue. I mean, if they hope to get back in this game, I mean, it's really deflating from a morale standpoint. They need stops and points, not turnovers.
The Bulls shooting their first shots from the free throw line tonight.
And 74% has been the mark for them on the season thus far.
And, you know, you don't have to tell them what their free throw numbers are. I mean, they're well aware of it, believe me.
Portis, he's checked in for Chicago. And then for Los Angeles, Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Hibbert. And Maurice Harkless subbed in for Powell. Chalmers with it, guarded now by Harkless. Chalmers passes to Butler. There's 1:40 left in the second quarter. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Lakers leading by 15. Here's Fresh. 10 points for him. Lets it fly. They grab their own miss. Chicago's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Chalmers passes to Portis. That's good, and so Chalmers with the assist.
Just a major size difference between the defender and shooter on that possession.
And Greg, without a hand in his face, he's simply going to spray whoever's there.
Here's Fresh. 43 points out last game. Clock at 6. Harkless kicks to Russell. That one goes. Count it. Russell's got 7 points for the quarter.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
Chalmers dishes to Butler. We've got 33 seconds left to play here in the half. Temple the pass to Butler. From past the arc. Temple can't get it to go. Here are the Lakers with the ball. They're on a 13-5 run. Here's Fresh, and there's another one for the Lakers.
You know, that part of the floor, guys, is more or less his real sweet spot, right in his wheelhouse.
Passed across. Pulls up on the wing. So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. Los Angeles on top, ending the second quarter on a 15-5 run. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Well, Roy, what's been working out here in the first half for you guys?
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first two quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback.